everyone. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Screen. I am your host, as usual, Jason Azevedo, and this is your spoilerific, wonderful opportunity to ask me every and any question that you have regarding RealmSmith, regarding Into the Mist, regarding the future of RealmSmith, regarding what we do at the table, in the business, how we conduct ourselves, all that kind of stuff. And even an inside look to the reason why we did certain things in the last session, and all of that. A couple of quick announcements before we start. The first is tomorrow, Thursday night, Players Table with Joe Auger will be live. And then Sunday, Nolzur's Marvelous Tutorials again, where we paint a WizKids Nolzur's Marvelous Tutorial miniature using Vallejo paints. And then on Monday, we have episode 3 of Into the Mist. And it's a pretty big, significant episode. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but there is a really large announcement / something that was going to happen. So you guys, I would love for y'all to be there and enjoy. So good. All right. As you all kind of come in here, the moderators are sending me all of your questions, which is great. And we will start. We are playing Sirenscape in the background. If you are interested in this sound set, you can check it out at sirenscape.com/RealmSmith. Type RealmSmith into the search bar, and then Hopeless Village will come up, which is what this is. And it is the sound sets that we created for Sirenscape that are based in Into the Mist. And in fact, this week I'm working on a new one for next session that we will hopefully set up with Sirenscape to sell. Are you guys experiencing slowdowns, issues, anything like that? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, cool. I think we've sorted out all of our internet issues, which is I'm happy about and excited about. All right, so bring those questions hard and fast, and we will get through as many of them as we can in the next hour. I know I was a little late into the table here, just dealing with some stuff. So, just life stuff. Whew, I hope you all are well out there. All right. Redbeard76. Why doesn't Nora have an emoji? Nora doesn't have an emoji, and neither does Muskoka, because we're only allowed 5. When we get to partner, we're allowed more. So when that happens, we will add them, I promise. Unfortunately, we don't have them yet. And I'm assuming you mean an emoji in chat. But I will absolutely do that as soon as we possibly can. And you guys can help us by following and by subscribing and by spreading the word and boosting the system, the signal to get us to partner. We're not far off, folks. We're very, very close, and we thank you so much. Also, just want to say how awesome it was for the Discord to make a little bit of an appearance, a little mention, a little cameo. For those of you that don't know, in the middle of last night's session, we had the party kind of go through the woods or the trail through the woods in the Svalak Road, and there was like a little bit of a yelling in the woods, and then a sword flew out, and that was actually something that happened earlier in the day in our Discord during the roleplay sessions that they have, and it was awesome. And so we decided to give a bit of a cameo for that. So that was something that we really enjoyed. And it was great. Really, really great. Question. So with all that terrain on the table, what was your plan last night for the party? Aha! So this terrain, hopefully the players aren't watching, this terrain is for the Abbey of St. Markovia. It's actually quite accurate to the map itself. It's built with Dwarven Forge, and it's going to be awesome. But they didn't get there yet, and they will hopefully next session. But it's good because now I can plan ahead and prep ahead, which is always nice. But players never get to where you think they're going to get, at least in my experience. It's difficult to kind of gauge all that, and I didn't expect them to attack Valfer for stealing stuff and everything that happened last night. Spoiler warnings to those watching. Apple Slice 4 says, hey, I'm new and don't know much, but I really want to make a Dragonborn character. Any tips? Good question. For those of you who are familiar with our previous streams, I played a Dragonborn monk called Crichton. He was a gold Dragonborn monk. And I would say, and I wanted to play a Dragonborn monk because that's different. There aren't a lot of Dragonborn monks. Dragonborns are usually fighters and other things, casters. So I decided I want to go a little bit different with him and do something a little different. So that's fun. So my tip is stretch yourself and ask yourself really what you want to play. Don't get stuck into the tropes that exist for Dragonborn. And definitely have fun with deciding what type you want to be. Really consider what a chromatic Dragonborn might kind of be viewed as, or the assumptions that might be made for a chromatic. So that is a colored Dragonborn, red, white, blue, black, all of that kind of stuff. I just got a message from Julian saying, I forgot to change my episode title, and I did. So I'm going to change that right now. Thank you, Julian, for letting me know. I was rushing to go live, so unfortunately, I messed that up, but that's okay. I will change it right now. There we go. Behind the screen. So yeah, so I would say definitely put serious consideration into the color of your Dragonborn and the perceptions that will come with that Dragonborn character moving forward. Yeah. Question. They're awesome. Dragonborn are awesome to play. From Roman Wolf, for Nolzers, will you have a poll again? I think I will. This week I might. No, I actually need to paint something specific. So I will have a poll whenever I don't have to paint something specific for a encounter. I think is the plan. I think I have something I need to do specifically. Maybe not, but I will definitely do a poll again. I know you guys enjoyed that, so we will make that happen again. From Deacon's Table, could premiere the emojis first through Discord? Oh, I didn't know I could add emojis in Discord and not in Twitch. I'd have to check that out. I didn't even realize that was an option. I will look into that, Deacon's Table. That's awesome. Sasori of the Red Sand asks, couldn't you have made the characters make a dex save to not get impaled, and why not? Can you tell me what you meant by impaled? I don't remember that part. Please let me know what you're referring to, and I will answer that question. Redbeard, does Esmeralda have a character link for her Vistani character? She does not. So Esmeralda is actually an NPC out of Curse of Strahd. So if you have access to Curse of Strahd on D&D Beyond, you can actually access her stats by going through the book. She has based her stats on that. She's not a player character, even though she's acting like a player character who's playing an NPC. But the stats are the same as the book stats. Redbeard in 84. How's the old kicker doing? Think you will be healthy enough to play by the big homecoming game? So, no, it's not doing so great. Yesterday it was super swollen. It's bruising. It's now a week since it happened, so I might go to the hospital tomorrow to check it out and get it. Because I know people who have breaks. I figured if it was broken, I'd be in excruciating pain, but I know people who have broken stuff and not known until much later, and it's worse, so I think I'm going to get it checked out. It's not as swollen today, thankfully, but I've been off it for the most of the day. What camp is Esmeralda from? That's a great question, Sakura. She's not really from a camp. Esmeralda came through the mists in search of Van Richten. So she's kind of like a traveling Vistani that doesn't really have a clan in this game. She's kind of set apart and doing her own sort of thing. A bit of a loner, as it were. That was from Sakura. Sidfar asks, how close were you to a point of enough is enough and story progress needed to keep that humor/setting balance? Good question. So Barovia is a dark place, and there's lots of opportunities for really troubling stuff. The comedy that occurs is necessary, I think, for keeping it a bit lighter and a bit manageable and palatable. So I don't mind the humor at the table. And hopefully you guys don't mind it either. And I'd actually like to, again, we usually for the second half, I ask you guys questions about what you feel, which we really, really take to heart and consider when we make changes and build the show. But I would say that I try and move the story along when I know that things are getting kind of, it's winding down. I will never interrupt role play opportunities at the table unless there's a story reason to do it. So, for example, if something has to happen at a certain point, then I will interrupt with an encounter or something, but I will never do it just to stop that. I think that character interaction and role play, like happened last night, I think I think the viewers love it based on their expressions and in chat, and you know how lively chat gets when things like that and infighting and little things happen, role play encounters, which is central to Barovia. So I'll never stop that. I'll never stifle it. I'll only move things along when I feel it's kind of wrapping up and maybe we're circling it a little bit and it needs to go on. So there is a delicate balance, but I think that it's necessary. And one of the reasons why Muskoka is at the table is to bring a bit more levity to an otherwise pretty dark setting. I'm just checking Sasori's answer here. Oh, I see. I think Sasori was talking about the sword that flew out of the woods. It was a narrative bit. I didn't. We needed to move the story along, and we didn't have the ability yet to interact with. I wanted that to be special to interact with the camp. So it was kind of just a passing narrative moment, and I didn't want to have to dig any deeper than that. I just wanted to be able to give you guys a nod, and also move the party along to where they needed to go. Nom Carver asks, what is one of the most unconventional class race combos you would DM for RP and for combat? I'm assuming, what would I like to DM? The more unconventional, the better, in my opinion. I love unconventional thought when it comes to creating a character. An example for that is a 11-year-old boy in a Warforged that Brandon does. Brilliant and fun and challenging for me. I like to be challenged. You know, Mel taking the Aasimar, which is supposed to be like this lawful, good, wonderful creature of light and radiance, and then making it like kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a bit of a rebel, and doesn't really want to be in that role, doesn't want to be held accountable for her actions, and does things reluctantly. It's the reluctant Aasimar. Love that idea. So I love those sorts of characters. I mean, you know, stereotype kind of archetypal characters are cool too. But in Barovia, it's very different. It's very strange. It's very weird. So I love the challenge of kind of dealing with those and DMing those. The most unconventional, I don't know. That's a great question. Class race combo, unconventional. A Turtle Wizard with Bacalhau was pretty unconventional and really fun to DM and interact with from a DM perspective. I'm sure I'm forgetting some really big ones, but yeah, those were some great ones. What are your favorite ranged attack cantrips besides Eldritch Blast and Firebolt as the most popular ones? That's from Prof. Shelley. I'm actually not. I don't usually play a caster, so for me, magic is a tool for the game, and it's important for me as a DM to have casters, and it's important for the players to have casters. But you'll notice I often ask people to read their spells. Sometimes it's because I know what they are, and I just want you guys to understand. Some of it, it's for me. I'm not as well versed in the magic system as some DMs are. I'll be totally honest. Transparency here. But I will think about that, and I will get back to you on that. I mean, Magic Missile is pretty great, but I think that's a first level spell. I don't think that's a cantrip. Grenadier Chef comment: as a DM looking to run Curse of Strahd, I really enjoy this particular game for giving the players time to actually play, not just going from scripted encounter to scripted encounter. Thank you. So yeah, old school D&D was very much led by the DM, often even narrating what the players did for them. I try not to do that unless we're really pressed for time and we need to get somewhere. for whatever technical, practical reason. I was told recently that somebody loved my DM style because I literally sit back and the players do most of the talking. I only do what I need to do to allow them to do what they need to do. I learned a lot of that from watching Critical Role, Matt Mercer, and I'm that type of DM. I am building a narrative with my players, not for my players. In my opinion, that's how I like to like. There's so many things like that little thing that happened with the pie that I did not script, had no idea that would happen, no clue. And it happened, I let it go, and then I just built that narrative with the players and facilitated. And that's what I'm here for. As a DM, you're here to facilitate. In my opinion, my goal as a DM is here to facilitate a game and allow the players to have as much fun as possible. That is my job, I think, as a DM. Okay. Sisori says, "Oh, okay. Thank you, Jason, and thank you for visiting our camp. It means a lot." You're welcome. And that is not all. That was just a little cameo. There's going to be way more fun, crazy stuff, interactive stuff coming. So stay tuned for that because that is not the end of it. We're almost at the halfway point. This is the point, I think, where I'm going to ask you folks some questions. And I want some feedback on this season so far, how you think things are going. And so now, instead of question, if you can write comment in the chat here, and I'll just read the chat. Mods don't have to send me all the answers, but I can kind of monitor the chat as we go here on some of the answers that we get for this. First question is, how do you feel about the newcomer Muskoka? How do you feel about the character? How he was introduced to the game? How David's playing him? Did you expect it? Is it unexpected? Is it one of those unconventional things? Let me know what you guys think. And I will wait for some responses on it. I think Dave's doing an incredible job. I think he's adding the right kind of humor that we need for a game like this. And I'll just wait for some answers here. In the meantime, we might have a Lillard appearing on stream this coming Monday. That is currently in the plan. Trobe19 says the party needed a cleric. Absolutely. There is no question that the party absolutely needed a cleric to do something because it has been very difficult thus far without a cleric to survive. And so they've got some more healing and they've got some more turn undead abilities and things like that, which they desperately needed. So yes, they needed a cleric. He is absolutely hilarious, Tamgood says. An unexpected great surprise. Thank God they have a cleric, Skur says. Muskoka is ridiculous, but great. He is ridiculous, but great. And I love that we're making fun of ourselves as Canadians and that he's basically a Canadian beaver shifter, a werebeaver. It's hilarious. And I love that Dave and I have been able to create this character together. There is a question here from XFit Kimmy. I'll answer. Season 2, Episode 1, was the party supposed to interact more with the skeleton man and his skeletal horse? The encounter was so brief. It was a random encounter, and it went exactly like it is in the book. So those of you who are running Curse of Strahd, you guys can take a look. I don't want to spoil anything for those that haven't, but it went just like it's supposed to for the most part. And a lot of those random encounters depend on the player's reactions and actions that dictate what happens in those. There have been encounters in the past where it was not supposed to be more, but more could have happened, and the intention was more for more to happen, but the players sidestepped it. Comment from S. Good. I love the character, easygoing and accommodating like most folks up north. Thank you. And we try to be. Never expected a Canadian beaver shifter, LOL. Jazz Fall says, neither did I. And I love it. I think he has a great introduction. Comment from Deacon Stable. Muskoka has the potential, with Dave playing with him perfectly like this, to be one of the most recognized characters in the virtual TTRPG scene. I agree. I agree that Muskoka has the opportunity, is one of the most unique characters out there, for sure, and memorable characters out there for sure. I think Troba19 is saying we're Canadian. I didn't know that. I don't know if I knew that. Nom Carver says, I think it would be amazing if Dimitri went Oathbreaker. Imagine the conflict between Roan and Sterling. Yep. And you know, we went for the first time after last session. We went out for wings together again. We were able to do that. In Canada, we're in what we call stage 3 in Ontario, where we live, where you can actually go into restaurants now. You have to wear a mask to the table, take the mask off, and then you can eat your food and carry on. But it was Dimitri and Rome were talking, or Dimitri, Adam and David were talking about the fact that, you know, Dimitri now is a bit in a weird place because he's a vengeance paladin, and as a vengeance paladin, anybody who kind of breaks the law that he considers, so his god is a loon, his holy law, should suffer. So that might happen a lot and can happen a lot. So, you know, Adam right now is kind of looking into what he needs to do to kind of get to that next level, and kind of progress and evolve Dimitri that way. Writing Machine says, will the Lillard appear as part of the plot with the coffins? That would be cool. I will say that Matthew Lillard is playing the same character he's played thus far, which is Rictavio. I can tell you that. And Rictavio will make a return this Monday. Deacon's Table says, we Canuck rocks. Canuck is what we call Canadians. He says he's a breath of fresh air. I agree. I think the meant we're Canadian. Yeah, true. I really enjoy his addition. D&D plus Letterkenny equals Into the Mist. Everyone knows Canadians because of Letterkenny, I tell you. Hey. Oh, Ancient Ignorance. Thank you. Subscribe to Tier 1. Amazing. You subscribe for 7 months, dude. Thanks so much. Ancient Ignorance is a good friend of ours, of the stream and of RealmSmith. Painted with me at PAX. Thank you. That is great. Wow. That really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Okay, next question. That was Muskoka. The next question I have is, how do you guys, and this question's been asked quite often in the chat, but how do you guys feel about the balance? And I want honesty. Please, transparency, honesty. We love it. Constructive criticism is exactly and completely what we need and welcome. But I'd like to know, from your perspective, your Curse of Strahd game, do you like it darker? Do you like our mix of humor and darkness? How do you feel about the balance that we strike in our game? And is it something that you enjoy watching? Did you enjoy Season 1 because it was a bit darker and not as funny or not as much humor? Did you enjoy the craziness last night? I'd like to hear from you guys. And Inked in Ignorance says, well deserved, my friend. I'll be here for many more months. Thank you very much, and welcome to the Vistani. And Shadster says, your potion bottle is glowing white, LOL. What does that signify? It signifies that for some reason, technically, it's not working. And Lumia does not want to shut off somehow. I think I could probably fix it. I'm going to go run and fix it with my busted ankle, because I'd like to show you folks that that you guys are, when you're subscribing and all that stuff, that it's important that you know. Let me see if I can fix it. I don't know if I can. No, it's not working. For some reason, let's try and relaunch this and see if we can fix it. No, it will not let me. Weird. It's all good. All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm back. If I do change this, let's see if we go to initiative. Nope, doesn't change. Nope, doesn't change. Nighttime. Nope. Ooh, I like nighttime. That's fun. Love playing with this thing. Okay. We are going to go nighttime, folks. It's going to be a little bit darker here for Barovia. All right. Let me just get back up here. A lot of comments about this. This is great. I love this. Okay. Thank you, son. Say hi, Ethan. Hi. My son just brought me some water because he's a good boy. had wings for dinner. Very salty. All right. Comment from Sakura. I like the mix. I'm not into spooky much because of the light parts. I love it. Perfect. Good. Good to know. Reboot it, just boot it. I tried. My table is playing half funny about the darkness. Cool. I believe you have to have those funny moments to break up the darkness that is Barovia, as Good Kai says. I agree. Nom Carver says, my favorite part is the Joel and Dave banter for sure, and the Joel and Nora camaraderie. I agree. I love it. I like the mix of darkness and humor. Mizik says, Jazzfall, this is my first exposure to Curse of Strahd, so I enjoy the mix. Maybe I will unplug it and plug it back in. I think Jazzfall said that. No, Sakura said that. Let's see if that works. Let me see if I no, that didn't work. I'm just going to do this. There. Now it's not annoying me. Writing Machine says, the humor is dark as much as the darkness. Agreed, especially with the pie addiction Falfer had in the tavern. I think it is well balanced, and I like it that way. Thank you for doing an awesome job, Jason. Well, thank you, Writing Machine. Appreciate that. And Nom Carver said the Dave and Nora camaraderie. I agree. Finkil213 says, I think it's a good mix. The darker parts I definitely enjoy, but I think the balance is needed. Deacon's Table says, Curse of Strahd is a dark setting. Barovia is said to be beautiful, but it is one of the most bleak settings in the game. The mix allows it to be enjoyable to those outside the game. Otherwise, it would seem pointless. It's about the story and balance. I agree. Coming from the original Ravenloft, I enjoy dark, but you are doing a great job at mixing it up. Thank you, Roman Wolf. And I came from the original setting too. And I do think that, I mean, they've faced some dark things. There's darker to come. And I think that they will evolve. I think the players, I'm not saying that the humor won't diminish completely, but I think that some of them, especially Muskoka, for example, and I actually spoke to Dave about this, I think that Muskoka specifically doesn't quite feel the gravity of Barovia yet, because he's new. And I think that as time goes on, that will change. And he'll evolve, as Sterling has, and as Dimitri has, and even Falfer has, right? Really enjoying the mix of both. I'm into funny, scary movies, LOL. Season 1, though, there was much more scary parts where I was having an anxiety attack. XFit Kimmy, just wait. The time will come. We are not done with scary parts. That is part of the joy of Curse of Strahd, and I hope I don't scare anybody off, because those times are coming. And how did you guys feel about that hag dream last night? Let me know if that was scary. On a scale of 1 to 10, how scary was that hag dream scene? I have to stop typing novels. No, you don't, Deacon. I like it. I like the commitment. Shatster says, nighttime on Tuesday night means you are going to start yawning. Don't tell me that, because I haven't yawned yet. Have I? Oh, now I'm going to. Thanks, Shad. A wonderful mix of great characters. Heyo, Flamebite. Humor and darkness. Kuhilith says, humor and darkness work well together. The world is a dark place, and humor is the one thing that brings light, heartedness, and encouragement to the party in the midst of it. In the midst of it. That's good. Ice Chamber subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, and welcome to the Vistani. Good. Question, will we get our Muskoka versus Falfer PvP? I want to make that happen. We will do that hopefully soon, as we can kind of coordinate that. I liked how last night there was a balance. This is from Apple Slice 4. I liked how last night there was a balance, because that child pie was a little heavy, most likely literally heavy too, but it balanced that with the humor. There's some pretty dark stuff, folks. Just wait. There's more. So, just wait. There's more. There are other dark domains of dread. That is true, Trobe. In fact, Van Richten we learned, and Falfer come from Darkon, which is another domain of dread. A comment from Rosenwolf to quote you, Jason, for the sake of brevity, there has to be a bit of a mix, otherwise things get too monotonous. Agreed. That was so creepy. I loved it, Tam Good said, with the, I'm assuming that means the dream. I am just going to message my son here because I forgot to turn off the furnace. And you guys can probably hear that kick in. Oh, man. All right. Comment from Eskud Kai. Night hags are creepy as is. I loved it. Good. Nom Carver says, that dream hit way too close to home. Haha. The hag nightmare is a real thing. It was portrayed well. Thankfully, I didn't wake up screaming this time. Oh, jeez. Dear. Give me 1 sec, guys. Let me just... All right. I just paused my mic and that works. Hopefully you didn't hear that. All right. No giveaways this evening. Shadster says, yes, we don't have a giveaway tonight. We should, though. We should do giveaways on Behind the Screen, and we're working on that. I like creepy, though, Tam Good says. I'll give it an 8, by the way, out of 10. I like that. The Night Hag Dream, yes. There's 23 domains of dread, I think Trobe says. I'm actually not sure how many. It was a solid 5 or 6. Okay, I got to do better, Sasori. I like it. I like it. Hag Dream description was so good. Did you elaborate on it, or is that how it was written? It wasn't written. I made that up, folks. Hags survived, and because of that reason, they are able to come into people's dreams. That is not written. That hag thing was mine, that dream sequence. So, and I just made it up on the spot, which is a lot of fun. Okay. Comment from XFit Kimmy. Hag Dream description was so good. Did you elaborate? Oh, yeah, that was, I already said that. Okay, next question. We'll take a couple more here because we got about 15 minutes left or so. Gave me chills. Gave me chills too. While I was doing that like hag kind of coming through the thing, I got goosebumps myself. I was kind of scaring myself because I'm a very visual thinker. So, perfect. Okay, next question. Of all the encounters so far, so of all the big moments, you look at Bone Grinder, the windmill. You look at Valaki, you look at the village of Barovia, Death House, the dinner with Strahd. Of all the stuff that's happened so far in the first 2 seasons, what has been your favorite setting, moment, encounter? This is a tough one. I'm making you guys think, but I'd love to know which ones affected you the most, are the most memorable kind of moments. And I mean like encounters, not like specific, you can say specific moments, but I'm talking about like general kind of like adventure moments. I'd love to know. I'll answer a couple questions. Ghost Kids, Keelis says. Okay, good. Question from XFit Kimmy. Hang on. There's a couple here. Comment from Mom Wolf says, would Falfer suffer exhaustion from not getting a long rest? Yes, he would, and we talked about that afterwards, and he's applied that. Sorry. I lost myself here. And Falfer feeling the drool, it was brilliant, Sakura says. XFit, did you randomly pick which character would receive the hag dream? I did. I rolled a d6. I counted around the table, and that is who ended up getting it. Wait. Yeah, I rolled a d6 and it was random. Can't remember where I started, but it ended up being Falfer. Yeah, that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. I am working on a half orc. Okay, so yeah, Ghost Kids, really great. Thank you. I loved that moment, and I'm glad that kind of stuck. I'm working on a half-orc paladin, a follower of Grumsh Vengeance, Oathbreaker, or one of the lighter oaths. Sorry, off topic from Into the Mist. That can come up another time. I'll talk about it now, Carver, real quick. Follower of Grumsh. So pretty standard half-orc paladin. It would, oh yeah, Grumsh is tough, right? Because Grumsh has certain tenets that would fit certain things. I'd have to look at Grumsh a bit closer, but I imagine it would make sense to be like vengeance, unless there's an Oathbreaker. And then in that case, I think he'd be more good than he was evil. Because, yeah, interesting. I don't know if is Grumsh neutral. I'm not sure. Good question. I'll look into that. If anybody else has any thoughts in the hi Dice Barista. If anybody else has thoughts, you can post in the comments here. Windmill with the realization of meat pies. Flame bite, you know what I'm saying? That didn't hit as hard as I'd hoped. I was honest about that last episode. Didn't quite have the gravity. Probably because it was a whole season not separated. Yeah, from when it happened. Like there's a whole season in the middle. But yeah, I agree. I really liked the reintroduction with Strahd's dinner, meeting the bad guy, making him seem not so bad a guy, right? And that is actually how it's written kind of in the book. The moments were in the haunted house for sure. Death house. Yeah, that was really good. I wonder if it was because it was like the beginning of a new stream and people are kind of glitching, or what made it. Maybe it was the creepy nature of a haunted house in general. Interesting. The pies, Soylent Green. The one where Sterling was looking at the Falfer as Falfer was screaming at the pie. Yeah. That was from Apple Slice. Roman Wolf says, dinner with Strahd. The RP was on point and wonderful. It was a great social combat. I agree. Man, everybody was on point that day. It was really good. Even Callie with her Oregon comment. Kills me every time. Stressful and everybody's in danger like the Death House. Also, when individual characters are in danger like Falfer's Hags is also really good. Those are the scenes I like. Good to know, Writing Machine. I like that. I like it. Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is I think that an engaging stream is where, it feels like the characters are in danger. The stakes are high, and in Barovia, they're very high. Deacon's Table says the dinner with Strahd, the charm ability, and having it leave one helpless to think for yourself in a way, and you have a wide array of responses to it and the happenings at the table. That was perhaps deeper than intended, but hits home on many levels. So true. And I actually told Joel today, I texted him, I said, dude, great job role-playing Falfer addicted to the pies. Anytime a player can go against what is best for his character and roleplay effectively is pretty great. Perfect example is that, where he held it and grabbed the kids and acted like someone who's addicted to something might, and even at the risk of being attacked by his friends, and not because he was charmed, but because of the rolls and the wisdom saves that he did was pretty awesome. Same thing goes with the charming of Muskoka and Esmeralda. Anytime they were able to do something that was counter to what their character typically would do. Great role-playing. The Death House, by far the best last season. This season, the dinner with Strahd. Yeah, and it's funny because I've got a lot of comments that the Death House took too long. And people are saying, oh, we went through Death House in one night. You took 3 or 4 episodes. I can't remember, maybe 5. I can't remember how many it was. I think it was 3. But again, I don't like rushing things. I like kind of the players going through at their rate. And there's a lot, man. It's a whole dungeon under this huge house. So, anyways, I didn't have a problem with how short it took, but I wanted to see if you guys did. The battle with Strahd's forces, that was really good at the end of last season. Sasori says the dinner with Strahd because Matt was just epic doing it. Agreed. S. Good Kai says, I think Death House, it was the first time the party had to really work together and they grew a lot before they finished it, followed by dinner with Strahd. Agreed. Comment from Shadster, Strahd's dinner, both for Matt Mercer and his portrayal of Strahd, but also his lack of reaction to Mel's Oregon comment. And of course, the Oregon comment was epic. It was, man. I'll tell you, Mel is a type of player who kind of sits in the back, does her thing, keeps to herself, and then says things that like just break the table, including myself. And that was one of them, man. That was one of those things where Matt broke, like, and Matt's very good at, if you watch Critical Role, of like keeping his composure during certain things. And he thought it was hilarious. He laughed, and then he played into it with the instrument comment. Great moment, and that's one of my favorite moments of uh, Into the Mist thus far. That, and the other moment was when Dimitri and Roan did that little speech when Erwin Mardukov caught them looking at the secret door. I'm like, yes, and they were like, that was the best. Loved that in the Raven loft with all the ravens. That was great. So fun. Falfer got both the Hag and Revenant. Poor Joel. I know. I pick on him because I know he can handle it, and I know he can handle the pressure. And all of our players actually could handle the pressure. I think that we're close enough friends that we could do that. That death by dumbwaiter stuck with me. Interesting. And that was a good cliffhanger too. And I'll tell you, I didn't think of that death. All we knew, Dave and I discussed it. All we knew is that he was going to die. That's all we knew. That was that Oral was going to die. And it was like 5 minutes before the end of session, and they were nowhere in a place where they were close to any enemies. And I'm like, what is going to happen? And then he says, I look up the dumbwaiter, and I was like, ding. And then, yeah, it happened. Sidfar says, yeah, dumbwaiter death has its ups and downs. That's good. Oh, wait, I think I have it. You ready? Good. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Sirenscape. You're the best. Oh, man. That was funny. Back to Twitch here. Okay. Sasori says, did you see my usage of charm when I turned Maven into a dragon? That's funny. I did not see that. But I will look into that. Admittedly, it's been so busy with the beginning of a season with contracts and prepping for the season and building all this stuff that I've had very little time to be in the Discord. I've dropped in from time to time to see how things are going. I'm chatting with the mods; they're getting me information, so I haven't had a chance really to dig in yet. I can't wait to dig in, but I will check that out. Rosenwolf says my favorite was dinner with Strahd. Character alone was the first time Sterling find his adult anger. True. XFit Kimmy says, jaw-dropping moment, the reveal of the Ghost Kids' bedroom with their bodies. Wow. Right? Wow, emotionally moved. Season 1, Episode 1, when Sterling was talking about his dad and how he came to be in his body. Super touching. Good moments, guys. I love revisiting these moments. Man, this is fun. Death House, Finke says, Death House took my group, I think, 4. It's both a thinker and frightening all in one. Agreed. Mom Carver says, the way Dave and Nora have run with Strahd charm makes me sad. It will end. And it will end soon, unfortunately. Lots more opportunities, though, folks, for those sorts of things. Awesome. That was. And Mizik says, dinner with Strahd when he charms Muskoka. Oh, that whole thing. When he's like, you're going to drink it? Oh man, Muskoka was on point during that episode. I mean, he's always on point, but man, that was so good. It was so very good. Crazy. Well, folks, we're at the end of the hour. I know I was late, but unfortunately, I have other things and calls to do now. I have some updates coming soon. Stay tuned. I'll be painting another mini this week. I think Callie is the next mini I'm going to be painting. So keep an eye out for her on our Instagram. And actually, this is what I'm going to do. I was maybe going to do Callie. Maybe I'll still do Callie. But if I can get a vote on the next Hero Forge mini from the group, I can paint. I don't have Muskoka yet, so I can't do him. So the options are, we've already painted Sterling, and we've already painted Dimitri, and Esmeralda has a mini too. So the option, we painted Sterling and we painted Falfer. So it's Roan, Dimitri, and Callie. Of Roan, Dimitri, and Callie, if you guys can post emojis for who you think we should paint next, and I'll quickly count them here as we lead into the end of the stream. Roan, Dimitri, Callie. Here we go. I'm seeing lots of Callie here. I'm seeing lots of Callie. There's 2 Roans. 2 Roans, 2 Callie. 2 Roans, 2 Callie, 1 Dimitri, 3 Callie, 2 Roans, 3 Roans, 3 Callie, 1 Dimitri, 2 Dimitri, more Roans, more Dimitris. Hang on. I gotta. This is harder to do than I thought it would be. One moment, please. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so we have a Callie, we have a Roan, and we have a Dimitri. Here we go. So I'm gonna do okay, so 1 Callie, 2 Callie, 1 Roan, 1 Dimitri. Just vote once, folks. Callie's, Roan, Callie. Then we have a Roan, a Dimitri, a Roan, 2 Dimitris, 1 more Dimitri, 1 more Roan. Two Roans make a right. See what you did there. 2 more Callies. Callie, Dimitri, Callie and Dimitri neck and neck. Deacon's Table said Roan and Callie. Deacon's Table, you need to be the one. You need to tell me just one. You can't break the rules like that, sir. And Dice Barista, you can't choose more than one. You guys gotta switch it up. I'm waiting, Deacon. Make your decision. Dice Barista, make your decision. Oh, Rosenwolf said Callie. Deacon's Table says Callie. Shaster says Callie. Oh, Callie wins with 11 votes. Callie will be the next miniature I paint. Kulith came back with the Roan. It's okay, it's not enough. Callie with 11 votes, Dimitri with 7, and Roan with 6. Callie will be the next one. We will do this again next week and find out who the next miniature I paint is. Thanks, guys. Awesome. And I just noticed that Scuba Studio, Scoob, one of our moderators and wonderful community managers, just went live on Twitch. So I want to stage a raid, but I don't know how to raid. So if anybody out there knows how to raid, then we can all go over there, give him some love, and then he'll be super happy. How do we do that? How to raid on Twitch. First, let your viewers know you're going to start a raid, and then share a chat message that you want your viewers to paste in the channel when they arrive. To start a raid, type raid, followed by the name of the channel that you want to raid. Okay, let's try this, folks. Let's see if this happens. In Twitch, I'm going to say raid, and then that's how we do it. And I hear that Joel is on it right now, so we're going to raid it. Here we go. Maybe this will work. Here we go. 2, 1. We're rating.